the chief guest, Minister of Defense, National Service, Honorable John Kondikwa, sir, the United Arab Emirates Ambassador to Tanzania, His Excellency Khalifa Abdurrahman Al-Mazif, member of the United Nations Secretary General 66 Peace Building Fund Advisory Group, Ambassador Rebeleta Mulamula, Lieutenant General Yakubu Muhammad, Chief of Staff, Tanzania People Defense Forces, Mr. Yusufu Mdolwa, who is representing Permanent Secretary, Minister of Foreign Affairs and East African Cooperation, Ms. Mboni Mgaza, the Acting Director of the Gender, who is representing the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Health, Community Development, Gender, Elderly, and the Children. The United Nations Resident Coordinator, Mr. Zlatan Milisk. The United Nations Women Representative, Ms. Hodani Adu. Chief of Operation and Training, Major General Alfred Fambiani Kapinga. Chief of Logistics and Engineering, Brigadier General Hawa Isa Kodi. Wing Commander at the Peacekeeping Training Center, Colonel Deogratias Johnny Mrishi. Director of Social Affairs, Colonel Solotina Benadi Nshushi. The Acting Director of Multilateral Cooperation in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the East African Cooperation, Mr. Makocha Tembele. The Director of Unit of Mwalimu Nyerere Foundation, Professor Ikawaiba Buting. Members of the Diplomatic Corps. Members of the Women Peace Security Pillar and the African Women Leaders Network for Tanzania. Officers and the men here present. Tanzania People Defense Forces representative here present. Representative from the civil society organization. Representative from the media. Esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, as already indicated by the Director of Ceremony, my name is Major Justina Gesine from the Directorate of Training and General Education. I'm privileged to give a vote of thanks on this special occasion. On behalf of the Tanzania People Defense Forces female combatants, I would like to thank you all for coming to witness this handover ceremony, but more importantly, I would like to say thank you for coming to celebrate with us with this new partnership with Her Highness Sheikh Fátima bint Mubárak and the people of the United Arab Emirates. For us, this is a quiet historic moment and the beginning of more initiative to come and support our work in the defense forces. After I saw the list of items donated and amazed by the thoughtfulness of the person, I learned that on Her Highness many contributions to support women empowerment, working with various champions for the gender equality, including the United Nations Women. The United Nations Women Liaison Office for the Gulf Cooperation Council launched the Sheikh Fátima bint Mubárak Women Peace and Security Initiative to further strengthen support for the women in the military and also to increase the number of women in the peacekeeping sector. An initiative we are grateful here in Tanzania. This initiative seeks to address some of the challenges that women in peacekeeping face, and that these items can show there is a lot that women on peacekeeping mission require for them to be able to deliver their duties. In some of the toughest environment. I remember when I was deployed in the United Nations mission in Darfur, UNAMID, as a second in command and the senior female officer to the Tanzanian Battalion number 10 in the year between 2016 and 2017, I experienced a weather condition to be the most challenging factor to work performance, in such a way that it required access to some essential items for women in order to work comfortably. But when I was working with the other women from other countries, I realized that the challenges that we face as women are the same. We are all wanted to excel in our career, but it is very difficult when you are as a woman, because we are in a male-dominated sector. And at times, there is some sense of trying to overprotect women, because some tasks are viewed as too tough for women, or some missions are viewed as too dangerous for women. But I believe that military work, it is about intelligence. It is about planning, tactics, and execution. Women are good planners, excellent directors, and tacticians. I'm glad to see that fellow women who believe that we too can lead peacekeeping mission are leading support for women in peacekeeping. Thank you very much, Her Highness Sheikha Fátima bint Mubárak. The United Nations Women Representative, Honorable Hodan Ado, working through the United Nations, we appreciate your advocacy and support. Ambassador Liberata Mulamula, who is also here with us, thank you. The rest of women who are here and are working so hard to ensure the equal representation of women in the leadership of peace process and in the defense forces, in your various capacities and organization, thank you. I would like my fellow women in the defense forces to join me in applauding by clapping hands to all women who are at the forefront of fighting for the rights of women in the peacekeeping. Thank you for your excellent representation and for articulating our issues, concerned with so much courage and determination to change circumstances for gender equality to be realized in peacekeeping and broadly in the defense forces in Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm aware that the women who advocate for gender equality and the women empowerment are not working alone, as we are all seen here. We also have men who are championing the rights of women, men such as the United Arab Emirates, Ambassador to Tanzania, His Excellency Alpha Abdurrahman Al-Mazik. I wish to thank you for making it possible for us to receive these essential commodities. This enormous support means a lot to us, and indeed it says a lot about the goodness of the people of United Arab Emirates. We are grateful. Let me also recognize the support from the Minister of Defense and the National Service, Honorable Elias John Kwandikwa, for your commitment towards empowering women in the defense forces and encouraging us to continue developing our capacities and aim higher. We thank you. Your being here with us also demonstrates your commitment to the rights of women and gender equality in the defense forces. Let me also appreciate the United Nations Resident Coordinator, who is a champion for gender equality, women empowerment, and working each day through the United Nations to advocate for the rights of women and the girls in Tanzania. I think we are so blessed to have you here in Tanzania. Please keep the good work up. The list of men who are championing for gender equality is endless, but I would like to take this opportunity to also thank all the men that are here today. You are standing up for a noble cause, aiming to ensure gender equal future for the betterment of our society. I would like to thank you, encourage you to keep the good work up. We recognize the role played by the United Nations, and in particular United Nations Women in Tanzania, with a humble mind you have coordinated this event with so much passion and enthusiasm to make it a special day for women in peacekeeping. We appreciate the work done by the Tanzania People Defense Forces to consider the gender mainstreaming during planning by including women peacekeeping operations. The decision that has made the work done by the female combatants to be seen and recognized by the international community. With those few remarks, I would like to appreciate you all for coming and thank you for supporting us to thank the United Arab Emirates for this symbol of love, friendship, and support for the women peacekeepers in Tanzania. Thank you very much to you all. Shukran al-Jazira.